Greetings everyone, my name is Outerville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. In this evening live stream, I'll be covering the level pack Mega Man Hermione's Attack by Deadly11, who joins us in the chat right now. This was submitted a few months ago, but for various reasons I couldn't get to it, so I'll do it tonight as this will be the last Maker stream for at least a month. So, according to my search query on WebMecha's website, this consists of 8 RM levels and 5 Fortress stages. No intro stage, we're beginning with Mint Portal Palace. 78 plays and a score of 46. Allegedly, it's their best level pack, but we'll see about that. So the story is, Hermione and Bastion are launching one final attack after they're starting to run low on mind control chips with 8 new mind control creatures. Mega Man is going to try putting a stop to this, but behind Hermione and Bastion around the world is that, before they really get into gear, is that they started to launch the attack. And behind Mega Man they see that there's the figure of Dr. Max. One strong suggestion, Tedley, can you please proofread your stories a little bit more? It's, I get what you're saying, but it's a bit hard to read. Like, I get really excited about this, but it really helps improve the experience if you ask someone else to improve the grammar and other things. So, hi Popcorn, hi Tedley. Ooh, I want the spike guard, just in case. It'll probably take about 2 hours to beat this, but we'll see. Feel free to discuss other topics while I go through this. Like gaming related, Mega Man, or whatever. I'm really excited for tomorrow's Viral Nightmare. That looks to be really fun. Visually, it's a bit better. Gimmick-wise, okay, I need an explosive to get through there. Hi, Jay Butters. We kind of missed you in the morning stream as we had quite a bit of discussions on video game balance, difficulty, what counts as punishing versus not punishing. Okay, which one of these teleporters is the correct one? Is it the bottom one? Yes. Oops. It was the stray one after all. I saw you, Axe. Oh boy. This is Tedley's level pack. Ah yes, we had a short discussion in Mega Man 9, and you know how it usually went. Okay, so the last part of the stage, I'd say it was a sufficient climax in regards to the teleport usage. This is more in line... The way this is designed is more in line with how the classic NES games would handle stage design, but a little bit better. It's not like the fan game length levels, and it doesn't really explore the gimmicks to that degree, but this mainly had just one gimmick, maybe 2. In that sense, it did a fine job. But in compared to fan game levels where they tend to have 2 gimmicks per stage, it does feel a bit more basic. Still enjoyable though. I swear, once I get to Mega Man 9 in May, I'm gonna bring an extra mod in just in case and give my overall thoughts. And then I can just settle it down and get all the criticism out of the board for my bad quote-unquote opinions. I didn't realize we had this X3 team in. Slow. I would have preferred... I would have preferred if, I could choose the rate myself. Okay, solid start. Better than I actually expected. I'm gonna roll the die. Next stop, Oliver. Fish Plank Fortress. 61 plays, score of 31. But yeah, it's nice to see you, Jay Butters. Oh, I needed to clarify something as you may have missed the announcement. I'm going on vacation from streaming, as I usually do. Starting from the 16th. Preview the stage. Oh, Esperanto. Just making sure, as it feels like a few users who use the Discord server just completely blank on announcements. Let me down. Easy peasy. Where did you get all these people to play your level, by the way? Like, the next time I'm gonna be releasing a Mega Man video will probably be in about 2 or 3 weeks, but we'll see. I find these breaks are necessary for me because otherwise I get too cranky or stingy or too harsh in general in regards to fan projects, especially Mega Man related. This is a way to recharge my creative batteries. Like, sometimes you may notice I end up being a little bit too harsh against certain things. This is a way to mitigate that. Remember, I don't want to be a caustic critic. There is already enough of them on YouTube. This channel was not good. Outside of certain rage moments, which are funny, sure. Otherwise, I don't want to focus on that. I just find there are already enough things to enjoy in video games. I'm not just going to waste my time on stuff that's just bleh. No. Wow. What? Huh? What did I... Okay. No comment. Note that when I say caustic critics, I'm not referring to critics in general. They have their place, and I don't mind them. I'm talking about those who really over-exaggerate their criticisms and negativity on things. I understand there is a more jokey kind, but at a certain point, it feels like a lot of people misread the joke and genuinely take those seriously. I have many criticisms of various Mega Man games, don't get me wrong, it's just that, well, and many games in general, I just find that in this current stage of my life I don't want to focus on that. Plus, there's plenty of games on my playlist that I want to get to, is that if I don't really like something that much, I won't bother playing it. Problem solved. This is also why I'll be more aggressive, or I'll be more discerning with what I consider to be on my demo suggestion list to avoid a repeat of what happened during the last stage. Like, I am going to cover Next Fest games once again, because why not? They're great. Or, demos at least. Once again, this is another stage which has a central focus on really just, well, this time two gimmicks really. Again, those trolleys or carts, as well as the seesaw platforms in Blade Man. One of them could be taken further, but at least the climactic section does feel decent enough. This could fit as an NES one. Ah yes, the AVGN ones who didn't understand the joke. I understand having irony and cynicism, but there's a point where it just stops being funny. Also, thank you for including both of the central gimmicks of the stage. Although it actually works more against him than me. Bye. I got aqua arrows. Alright, that was supposed to be the water stage. Well, I found my boss killer. With AVGN, I know it's part of the joke, combination of rage and also a joke, but I feel like a lot of successors who took inspiration didn't quite understand it and are harboring more rage than is healthy. Like, there are a few games which I would agree would deserve more, deserve being pilloried, but I don't know, in general, I tend to clamp down if necessary. Don't get me wrong, I'll rage in a few moments, as you'll see, for example, in episode 4 of Mega Man Relay. Especially with Sunstar EX. Otherwise, well, yeah. Okay, next up is Noosh, Hammer Block Factory, 50 plays, score 28. Yeah, the upcoming Next Fest is going to be interesting because of... I'm going to try spreading out a little bit to 3D action adventure games. Oh no? What's the oh no about? I know I have 2 keys. Okay, this is a factory stage with junk blocks and conveyors. It's like the typical combination we see. What game is this music from, by the way? I don't recognize it. Is it from ZX? Well, we'll see about that, Tedley. Mega Man 01. Ah, that's why. I don't really recall most of the music from the Zero series. I know. That's more me than the game. Sorry. Alright, we'll see about that. I have 3 E-tanks. Hug. Let me see if I can do this without the respawning. Was there something up at the bottom left? Ooh, what is this? Beat Saver. I know that's not exactly what it's called, but I prefer calling it that anyways. Another solid level. Like, it's more in the vein of the classic NES stages, and by far, yeah, you're right, this is your best level pack. Welcome, Mike. Hard time. Oh no. Ah, shoot, I'm dead. I got hit by extra time there, so I took it. One of the most difficult because of the arena, and, well, it's hard, man, so it can be difficult to dodge the fists. Oh, shoot, Yeah, marginally tougher. As a matter of fact, the arena did make it a little bit easier. You got... Hammer, toss. Hammer! I don't know why you said I wasn't ready. I've seen far tougher challenges before. Let's see. Rolling the die again. Sunky Song, Overgrowth Labs. 46 plays, score 25. Decorations are neat, fine. If you have any other topics you want to bring up, for example from Jay Butters, feel free. This is one of those packs where I already talked about why I think I already talked about how I feel the levels are better in general, but it's going to take a little bit longer because, in general, my comments on each of the levels are going to be roughly the same, so I'm going to talk about all of them in group once I'm done with the first 8, unless something else pops up. I did notice that at the start, it does actually tell me what the main mechanic of the stage is going to be, which is neat. Bubble crab. Oh, bubbly. I don't know, you usually have a lot of insightful topics, Jay. What is with that sound effect with the cactus mat? Hi, friender. Excuse me. Hi, friender. Green key, so right way. You're not escaping. No explosives yet. Bye, kitty. Yeah, it's also part of the reason I agree with you, Jay Butters, because most of the things I already talked about in the first stage apply to the other ones, so if there is a bit of difference, I'll point it out. So I'll just regurgitate it once I get through the first 8 levels. Now we go up. And hey, about the jargony points over and over, you've seen how many times I commented on how to make a good, or what feels like an interesting Mega Man Classic stage that is relatively decent or good. And I've remarked on it, like, hundreds of times by now. Okay, this is a very fun climax. Fully vertical section, and you have to be swift on your feet to make it to the other side. I dare say this is one of the better ones, but I don't say it's the best one we've seen so far, but it's also the toughest one. Because if you fall, oh, you're gonna take multiple beatings. And one last enemy to block the way. Goodbye. Like, you know how people make jokes about how I'm a broken record? But you never know, this may be the first episode someone sees of me playing Maker. I never expected to be playing Maker for this long, to be honest. Ooh, that background's cool. Taking place in the darkness of night in this jungle. Awesome. See? No biggie. Uh-oh. Oh, Mega Man's dead. Nope. Okay, we'll pretend that didn't happen. Someone forgot to block off that route. Yeah, sharing that knowledge, and I know it's a bit of a broken record, but just like with multiple Mario Maker streams, this may be like the first, from other creators, this may be the first one for a more newcomer, because every day a new fan of Mega Man is born. Okay, maybe not every day, but at least the series has gone out of hibernation, so... For example, if you look at the official Maker server, you see plenty of younger fans who are who are not as familiar with the series or just getting into the game, which I find quite promising. Halfway mark here, I'll say this. This is more enjoyable than any of the level packs before, as the levels are actually, even if they don't have quite as much to talk about, they each focus on one or two gimmicks and they do follow the trend I have been talking about. And best of all, it's been 4 after 4, the climactic section actually feels like a nice wrapping up bow of the stage, and not all of them are designed the same way or the same overall design. The last one, for example, was an almost completely vertical. Well, pretty much vertical with the exception of the last screen, but yeah. We're off to Dargo at the Dragon Peak Temple. 87 place, score 43. I'm a bit surprised because many designers whose level packs I've played in the past say they took my criticism, but it feels like they need to put more work into their efforts even after that. But you've actually notably improved by listening. Like, as much as it says that people say they listen, it can take a while for it to really settle in. I know that because I made the same thing for myself. Now it's not just in terms of level design, but also aesthetics and graphics. Oh, I guess this is where I get the Magma Bazooka. Yeah, that's a little bit scary. And hey, it actually has notable challenges that, while getting tricky sometimes, actually feel reasonable for a first stage run. Not recommended for beginner players, of course, but intermediate players, this is a nice bout. This really feels like this pack was designed for intermediate players in mind, in terms of checkpoint placement and the challenge difficulty plus complexity. I like it. My only criticism is sometimes I wish the challenges would push further, but that is more of a personal preference because I'm more of a veteran player, so I want to see more difficult challenges. But if this is designed for more intermediate players in mind, it's understandable why it deliberately limits itself to a certain degree. And having a level preview is cool. I do agree. In addition to the whole standard set by other level packs of time memorial in the last 7, 8 years of having an intro screen where you pick up your weapons. I'm glad that's finally gotten I'm glad that got standardized years back. Still no explosives. Where could they be? When I say that the design beats aren't exactly the same, like the overall, when I say about this, it follows the general lessons of how to design a decent, at the very least decent, Mega Man Classic traditional stage. But the stage beats themselves aren't just like copies of each other, or share the same vibes, just with different gimmicks. They actually go for a little bit different vibes, and different kinds of challenges. That is something important because one thing I've noticed is that sometimes people, or designers who still work in their craft, sometimes run into the issue where, sure, they may have challenges build up from each other, isolation, build up, combination, and finale, but if you really look at the challenges, the way they're set up, they basically are the same pattern beat for beat, or mostly the same pattern beat for beat, but in different but with different gimmicks. Like Stage A has gimmicks 1 and 2, Stage B has gimmicks 3 and 4, Stage C has gimmicks 5 and 6, but the way they're introduced, escalated, and the climactic sections are set up, They are very, very close in terms of design and flow. This one, however, doesn't have that, showing that there's a more technical understanding of the design. It's not necessarily a bad thing for stages to share overall beats, but when most of the stages have that, it becomes an issue. But I want to point out again, this pack has so far not shown that. Ooh. I didn't jump properly. Like, color me surprised, you actually took the criticism properly into account. I dare say that this may be currently my favorite level pack of 2026 so far. At least, or at the very least for intermediate players. If that's your most notable criticism, interesting. My more notable criticism from before is that the levels just didn't feel like they explored the mechanics enough. Yes. Oh, true. I would like to see more of their gimmicky levels. As much as I enjoy playing traditional stages that are well done, I also like playing through more gimmicky. I also like playing through more gimmicky ones, or ones that focus on the use of certain special weapons and what have you. Sit down, please. Ah, darn it. He doesn't get killed. Fine. Bye. I got the Flam Bazooka. Or rather, the Dragon Fire. Welcome to my boss killer. My upgraded boss killer. As much as I like traditional classic stages, I also really like seeing more special weapon-oriented levels, along with more gimmicky ones or glitchy ones, or really just like the stuff made by what's their name again? Or really like the stuff made by Toxin G. They are really competent with their design, proficient. Okay, time to visit Burrito at the Pasta Plane. 100 play, score 57. Wow. Oka as well, but Toxin G, yeah. No wonder why they help run the speedrunning challenges, which I eventually should do, because those packs are really fun. Oh, you played this pack before, Popcorn? That's neat. Oh no, come back here. Up. Come on, it's not allowing me to go up. But yeah, I highly recommend coming tomorrow for the Mega Man X Viral Nightmare stream. Like, we don't usually get remakes of more malaligned X games, especially X6, so I'm really curious to see how that'll turn out. And from what I heard from other people, it is pretty competent. I'm using the word competent because I want to see more first. I've been proven wrong before. Alright, now I got the Super Mega Buster. Cut out where? When you first introduce X platforms, please place them over a not bottomless pit, please. Unless that's not a bottomless pit. I think X8 Demake was decent, despite some naysayers, and I quite enjoyed the experience. From what I've seen of X8 16-bit, I have to correct myself because it's not quite a demake. As I was saying, with Viral Nightmare, from what I've seen, at least from Yanmark and Blaze Heatnik stages, the changes are very exciting. Like, the base X6 had a lot of interesting ideas for the stages, but because of being rushed to no end, the executions were really some would say bad, some would say lackluster, some would say overly punishing, or not well thought out. Like, I always thought X6 actually had more interesting ideas than, like, well, should have held right, than X4 and arguably X5. I'm really curious if in, oh boy. Dog, hello? Okay, rushed in it. I'm really curious if in future versions of the demo, we'll have the nightmare effects coming back. Seeing how the nightmare phenomenon was one of the most malaligned parts of X6. Oh, my favorite part of looking at that was all the collaborative effort put into fixing Infinity Maginion's sprite. Like, if we're in the server, you should have seen all the different ways people are trying to interpret just what the heck Maginion is supposed to be like. Like, it's not just from by Cat Yard Games, it's a team led by them. Which also consists of a lot of collaborative fans who are just very willing to test out, hey, can we make X6 better? And hey, if this turns out and hey again, if this turns out to be the Project 06 equivalent of X6, I'm gonna be really happy. Like, it's not trying to be a faithful remake, it's trying to be more of a reimagining. And already the story is less stupid, way less stupid. X8 only had 2 auto-scrolling stages. Avalanche Yeti and Gigabolt Manowar. Yeah, this, I think we found the other tough boss of this. Getting stuck there. There. True, that's a vertical sort of auto-scroller, whatever. Yeah, and the base X8 auto-scroller, and X8 16-bit, it's a hybrid. I got past the... I shouldn't be complaining because there's already a bunch of silly weapons in the classic. I think this is one of the more weaker levels compared to the bunch, but it still stands, I guess, as an okay level. I don't know, the X platform flipping didn't really feel as novel as the other things. Seventh on the lineup is Mojito, or Moito, This side, Storm Gardens. 37 plays, score 20. Oh, in the reimagining, yeah, Blaze Heat next is gonna be interesting. Why do you keep saying it's controversial? Was that the result of the playtesting, or is it based off of votes? Or is it both? I don't get what that gimmick is. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out how do you know it's the most controversial? Based off of what metric? Aha, missed me. Yeah, I doubt so. Okay, people playing the level, is it based off of upvotes versus downvotes, or is it also based off of the playtester feedback? That's what I'm asking. Like, I guess from people playing the level, but I want to be more specific about that. Are you basing it off the vote count or feedback? That's quite a bit of E-tanks. Honestly, I would actually make it a bit harder to get the E-tanks, but that's just me. Gotcha. That's what I've been asking for. Thank you. Well, I'll see. I'm also happy to hear that the Nicholas is back. Well, I do see the shades over there. Like, come on. We don't need to make it that easy to get E-tanks. Make it a little bit tougher. Rather plain room. Inside, it's one of the more boring visuals. Outside, though, it's pleasant. Nice. Bye. Oh, I only get to take 4 of them between levels. Gotcha. So okay, still I'd make them less generous, but it's a little bit too easy to get up to 4. Usually in Mega Man Classic games, and this also goes over to fan games, getting an E and especially M-Tank should be behind a bit of a challenge. Or it should be off the beaten path, require a challenge, or require a special weapon, or mix. Eye in the sky. Ow. We'll see about that, Tedley. You're already wrong about one of the difficulties of the bosses. Hi, Anchor. Yet again, the gimmick actually makes the fight a little bit easier on me. Bye. Whee! I know I'm gonna be falling. Thank you, Beat. I was doing it for the funny. Well, on to the allegedly or supposedly most controversial stages pack, or second one. I got Volt Split. Okay, scrap it. Scrap it at the scrap hideout. 45 plays, score 20. Only one downvote though. I wanted also one of the shorter level packs. I'm about 45 minutes in and on my 8th stage. It's a decently sized one in the vein of the NES game, so of course, makes sense. I sacrificed that one for a joke, so I'll pick it back. I guess this is where I get the dual satellite thingy. Okay, those blocks make a return. Nothing's up there, I hope. Ooh. What's his name again? Tomahawk platforms. And water. Frozen water. Where did you come from? Oh no, I got squished by the Take Tento. Should have just flipped my direction. Oh, what? Okay. Apparently that didn't damage me. Yoink. I know, I'm circumventing the challenges a bit, but it's fun to fast through it. It's fun to use the full extent of my abilities, especially with some of these stages. I thought so. Okay, I'm okay with this being like an E-tank because of the mini challenge required to get here. And if you don't have the spike guard, well, if you botch this, you're gonna take a hit. Instant death, that is. Alright, let's see what you're gonna say, Tedley. Oh, where did the Take Pentos keep coming from? They're popping out of nothing. Glorious checkpoint for massive healing. Yeah, I know, I can circumvent this, but I was feeling bad. Oh, right. Solid at both ends. Okay, just to show it can be done, I'm just gonna rely on the base buster. No special abilities unless it's really necessary for a particular section. I'm gonna have the bigger charge shot, sure, but I doubt that's the reason why it's harder or evil. Okay. So they're like crushers here. No, no, no. What? Okay, the one criticism I have is that the take tendos pop out of nothing. That seemed, I guess the spawn point's right in the middle of the water, so it just kind of messes with that. I'm guessing what happened is I tried to slide into the gap while I was rising up. I should not have done that. I'm okay with that screw up. My main issue with this section and the previous sections like this, which were easier, I know, because build up, is that the take tendos can spawn out of nothing and just, you know, surprisingly surprise hit you. See, this is the main problem. Okay, I can see why there was some criticism of that and the rage quit in the last part. The positioning of those take tentos is a problem, especially the last two. Because they can spawn in when you're over there and just, well, knock you back right into the tomahawks and then you'll just get crushed. What I would do is either reduce it to 1 or 0 there. If this game had a widescreen format, this would be no problem because you can actually see the enemy spawn. Like, if I knew about the enemy spawn in advance, this also wouldn't be an issue. Like, this is a section that requires you to commit, and we don't really get to see what that committal entails. Unless you take the lower route, in which case you're free. So yeah, if you take the upper route, you can get the surprise and just get crushed. But if you take the lower one, it's a lot safer. I wouldn't say very evil, it's just the last screen, which is last 1 or 2 screens, which is the... I would rework a bit. Like, I appreciate the freneticness of that section, but Fuel quest... Yeah, Tomahawk works better for this. Woohoo! Alright. You can do this section without any abilities or any upgrades, just with the base buster, even without the better charge shot. It's a bit trickier. The biggest problem is the take tentos, which can just surprise you, or have an unfortunate spawn. On those last 2 or 3 screens, please reduce the amount to 0 or just 1. Otherwise, the climactic section was enjoyable. Like, I've seen far more evil stuff from other designers, see La Patio. Okay, I'm gonna take a short pause to refresh myself, and then I'll be entering their Hermione fortress or whatever. And I have returned. Oh, hey, La Patio. So, after dealing with the 8 mind control creatures, Mega Man has pieced together the location of Hermione and Bastion's newest castle/fortress. So now it's up to him to teleport to the base and put a stop to the latest evil dastardly plans. And their fortress is located somewhere in the Arctic or Antarctic. Hermione Stage 1, Frostborn Frontier, Frost Devil, 39 plays, score 20. Try saying that 3 times fast. Ooh, Rush Marine. Okay, E. M. Let's go. I'm not sure how that's supposed to look. Ah, nice. We don't usually have a frosty approach to the castle. The one time I remember it being done was in Mega Man 4 with Cossack Citadel. But usually it's a much more... usually it's more city-based or more hostile in terms of land structures. I'm fine with the 6 charge shot, that's already good. I'll get that for the next stage. Like I mentioned, the way these stages are designed, it's like the classic NES style, especially in terms of length. But the way elements are used and reused to the levels, it is more like the terms of fan games or 11, aka the better style. And stuff is actually being explored, maybe not to an extensive degree, but at least to a sufficient degree in regards to the targeted skill level. Like, intermediate players deserve to have some level packs which are fun to play through. We shouldn't just reserve the best level packs for the more advanced players. Like, as much as, for example, as much as I like playing Heavy Elite's level pack, or Mega Man Fusion, I think, they were definitely designed for more intermediate to advanced players. And this stage is ramping up the difficulty, don't get me wrong. A little bit more than NES length because stages have more than just 2 checkpoints. Like, there are multiple checkpoints before the final corridor. Special weapons are nice, but for the most part you can get by with the base charge shot and jumping and shooting and sliding. A few of them really help though. Geronimo! Oh, rematches are spread between the stages. Okay. What could your weakness be? Okay. That was easy button. Oh no. Weakness? It was the same with Bastion's rat. Thank you for reminding me. There are so many level packs and levels I play Maker that I forget most of them nowadays. Unless something really stands out. See, no problemo. And because I'm supposed to have all the special weapons by now, I'm gonna use them. Oh my. One of the great new additions of this game was Spike Guard, of course. Ouch. Could have put a take 10 or something here. Like, I get this is supposed to be intermediate, but... Oh. Wait, they don't respawn? Okay. As I was saying, you could at least put one or two enemies here, otherwise the screen feels a bit too empty. Screens like this, sure, don't, but like the other one. Okay, here's one. I know this Mega Man 4 did this too. I mean, there's a cheesy way to do this faster, but... well, other than using the rush gen, of course. Drill! Alright. What's the Frost Devil like? Oh, it's Fridge Man in that... cube. I know, it's Cold Man. I just like to call him Fridge Man instead. Round 2. Any differences? Well, that was kind of lame. Like, this was easier than several of the regular boss fights. Borders itself was fine in the Frosty. It felt like it was more difficult than half the regular ARM stages, so, or mind control stages, so yeah. So we managed to break through this front door, and now we're in the armory, and now we're assaulting the armory. Melter Brothers, 50 plays, score 24. Top 5 Cold Man jumps. If only Cold Man could walk forward a few meters, or at least centimeters, every time. I'll get them tech next time. We're fine. This pack isn't that hard after all. Even the parts which are labeled as being uh-oh points or controversial. Oh my gosh, I've been hearing We Are the Robots too much. Especially during the editing process. Hi Yokus, I expected you to show up eventually. Lol. Double hit themselves. We call that an own goal. Sure, go ahead. More backstory. I wish I could reorder my weapons. I'm not gonna reopen the debate with Buster about whether the quick weapon swapping is really that necessary. I like it. Good addition. But please let me reorder my weapons. Sleep. Beep. 3, 2, fire! Beep, 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 beep. Ah, you weren't there. Well, Buster did. I know. They have very peculiar opinions on Mega Man, and well, Mega Man in general. It's more in the case of, is it really that useful? And it's more of a case of, well, depending on the weapon order, quick weapon swapping is more disadvantageous than just opening the menu and manually going there. That way you can pause the game and select it more in peace. Whereas the quick weapon swapping, because you're directly in the action and the action's still happening, well, depending on where the weapon or utility is, you can end up spending more time than just opening the menu, and end up just making the experience more difficult. That being said, they do like stuff like the weapon wheel, which I agree I would like to have in this game. I mean, take it from me, I already know what they're gonna think about Viral Nightmare. I mean, do I even need to ask? Oops. Oh no, that was, okay. Yeah, I have a spare one. I'm gonna use it. Thanks! Okay, who are we rematching? Oh, this arena's a little bit different. Is it? This? Well, I suppose it makes sense. Excuse me? Keep going all around the place. You know, I thought this would be his weakness from the get-go, but guess not. What is it then, Drill? Laser? Okay, fire. I forgot who he's based off of. Excuse me. I'm gonna use English. I forgot who he's supposed to represent, so... Yes, my option... That's my solution for quick weapon swapping. And a few fan games have done that. See Magmal Tree. Scrap it. Thank you for the step stool. Looks like I need some weapon refills. That's what happens if you press it when it's at 0. The walking bomb corridors. It's getting a little bit repetitive now. Do we see a bit something different? Like, we just saw this. This could be tightened down a bit. Let me in. Pfft. Yeah, spikes are still active up there. Joy. I need healing. Triple Pharaoh. And tackle fires too. What is this, the anti-Mega Man Bulwark? It's one. Two. More interactive than the previous one, but still kind of easier than a bunch of Fortress RM encounters. It's mainly just more of a damage, whatever. After destroying the armory, Mega Man decides to go through a secret sewer tunnel to fight the Turtle Queen. 39 plays, score 21. Usually the sewer levels are the second ones, but sometimes they're number 3. This time I'm not going to bring out the Mega Man 5 Charge Shot. I'm okay. I'm going to save the M-Tank for the next stage. Ish. Where we last left off, the water looks pretty clear. The water looks pretty clean for a sewer system. That's a decent way to introduce. That's a good way of introducing this. And this too. In a way, these Fortress levels feel kind of like Fortress stages, but in a way, these Fortress levels kind of feel... I don't know, actually. They don't feel quite like the traditional Fortress levels. The ones you see in Classic, like that Redux challenges from before. They kind of feel more like more difficult traditional stages, because each of them have central gimmicks as well. Including using gimmicks that we haven't really seen before in the previous levels. In this case, it's the waterfalls and the splash platforms. It's time to rush Marine. Oh no, let me out. Drill! Drill! Who's next? Hang on. Bye. Kitty. Hey, Power. Just playing through a level pack of intermediate difficulty that's surprisingly better than I initially expected. The designer just really improved over time and really took into consideration all of our feedback. It's nice to see. Oh yeah, these are back now. I almost forgot the stage had them. Again, this is more of a non-conventional. It's kind of weird saying this, but the way this fortress is designed is a bit non-conventional. In the sense that it really feels like a little bit more difficult, a little bit more complicated, or marginally more complicated, marginally more difficult traditional stage, because it's not really bringing back the previous mechanics or level gimmicks. It's bringing back the enemies, sure, but it's usually just using different gimmicks, new gimmicks entirely. There is force weapon usage, sure, like the Rush Marine, but that itself is kind of an expectation here, I don't know. That's the closest thing to having a fortress. You're asking how... Oh, wait. Yeah, this is a bit easier than the previous section, I gotta say. This really should have been at the first half of the stage where you're trying to get used to this gimmick. Putting this at the end is very weird. Like, this is some of the easier uses, whereas the spikes just a few screens ago were more difficult. Okay, you're asking how to consistently jump on ice cube generators since they're very hard in Maker. My suggestion, or the way I got used to it, or better at it, is to learn the precise timing and the sound cues. Especially the sound cues, as those help when they're a bit off screen. Double. Okay, now the mother. Ow. Ah, darn it. Too slow. You know what? Yee. Two. Bye. The issue with this stage is that, well, the underwater gimmicks are fine, but the difficulty progression is, with the waterfalls it does get more challenging, but they're kind of more basically used. Mainly for a means of just moving forwards, as opposed to more advanced configurations where you move back and forwards with them. And the splash platforms where the difficulty curve in the introductions and the finales is weird. Okay, we're coming into this home stretch. After traveling through the secret sewer pad, we're ascending through the lift tower to make a visit to the crystal core. Before that though, story time. After beating the last boss, after beating the turtle, Mega Man encounters a beat-up Bass. Bass, are you alright? I'll live, but there's a giant crystal with Dr. Max, King Cat's, and Dr. Wily's souls inside of it. The crystal is the mastermind because it's controlling Hermione and Bastion, but once you defeat it, it should weaken the mind control enough to where one more fight should cure them. Ah yes, beat the mind control out of them. 30 plays and a score of 9. Classic. It's a good thing I'll have 4 E-tanks going into this. So even if there's 3 fights in a row without any healing, I'll have a backup. I'm not taking more spike guards for now because if I get... excuse me. Gesundheit. If I get hit more than 3 times in a row on spikes, there's something wrong. Well, guidelines, rules. You didn't violate all of them. After all, even 7 or 8 years in, Maker still hasn't implemented a tool or some way to bridge levels together or merge them into a level pack of sorts. We know that's possible. We know that's kind of possible thanks to stuff like Wily Challenge. But something to actually have continuity between a bunch of levels in a pack-like format would be nice. That way we wouldn't have to have stuff like the intro screen at the start of every RM level, so players can carry over their stuff. Stuff meaning weapons, items, utilities, etc. I actually wasn't intending to originally cover this, but seeing I'm going on vacation, I decided to put it off to tonight. And honestly, I should have actually covered it earlier. This is legitimately fun, and despite some issues that are popping up in the Fortress levels, I think overall it's quite an improvement from before. As I keep saying, good for intermediate players. No. If this was made by Lepadio, there would be at least 3 times the number of spikes. And probably being chased by a firewall somewhere. Okay, last 2 rematches. What was your weakness? Oh yeah, I fought you first. You were Mint. Not quite. Drill. Let me in. Okay. I mean, fair. I have a tank. I'm gonna use the tank. Who's up next? Oh no, I'm dead. Well, wait. Wait, okay. I'm not dead, I saved myself. Excuse me, Rush, why won't you spawn? I pretty much run out of things to say here, and I got extraordinarily lucky. Like, if it was like if it was 2 steps down, I wouldn't make it. Or 2 floors down. Nice, it didn't actually have to reset. Hi, friender. Bye, friender. Not so friendly, are ya? I wish. Okay. I am gonna... I'm gonna have to take a short 5-minute pause after this, but then I'll be ready. Oh. Okay, Functionally, that has to be his weakness. The bees! Hope you like flames. Okay, I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Short pause. I'm gonna say this, so far enjoying the experience. This fortress boss was actually was notably formidable due to the conveyor belts and the bees, hornets. So I'll take that for an improvement. Now there's just one more stage left over, but again, I need to take a short pause. Be right back. I am back. Sorry, had to take a short refreshment break. Let's see here. As Mega Man destroys a giant crystal, he sees 3 souls shoot out of it and poof out of existence. As this happens, he says, Dr. Max, King, Cat, Wily, you all owe me for this. Anyways, for the finale, Hermione Stage 5, Hermione and Bastion at the Office of Time. 49 plays, score 20. What? Are we going to the Warden of Time's office? Hi, Boogobets. What is my opinion on Chrono Trigger? I love that game. To me at least, I think it's one of the best SNES JRPGs, and still an all-time classic. That's my summarized opinion on it. This should be the final level. And I still say that Chrono Trigger still stands the test of time. No pun intended. Oh look, Yoko's returning. Okay. Fine. Wait. What are these? Oh, are these the bosses from Bastion's Rat? What a callback. Bye. Well, I get full refills on everything, so... I haven't yet. I haven't played Final Fantasy IX yet. Tengu. No! I didn't realize I can just do that. That is scary. Oh, and I have to do all this in one go, too. Fire? My vacation from streaming starts on the 16th of February. I'm gonna have at least one more stream tomorrow morning because I wanna at least sample the demo of Viral Nightmare. Oh gosh, you... Lights out. Drill? Black hole? No! Darn it. I pressed start, it didn't allow me to press start. One thing you need to know about Maker is that you have to be more preemptive on that. Okay, faster rematch, let's go! Having to do this all in one life is kinda brutal. Even the classic games didn't quite do that. They at least gave you... Well, you had to do it before you game over, but... that still isn't quite as brutal. Yeah, okay, from your perspective it's tomorrow. For me though, it's day after tomorrow. This is just so funny. Yeah, this attack is a little bit of a pain to dodge. Oh, Scramble Thunder. It's easiest to do this, so I'm gonna do it. Lol. I love hitting the easy button. Oh, that. Wait. This is your weakness? I thought that was Ringman's. Oh, I see what actually happened. It kept blocking multiple crystal balls back at him. Crystallized, whatever. Time's up. The one thing that can counter space. The one thing that can counter time. Space. A dead vortex. Wait, is it four between... Oh my gosh. This is being taken from 2 different level packs, so it's 8 plus 8. I can see why this is one of the more controversial levels, because having an 8 plus 8 boss rush is sure is something. Like, did we really need this many? But yeah, at least we checkpoint. I love when I can always do that. Hey, Snakey. Lol. Okay. You're not allowed to do your special. Though these are the Bastion's rat guys. Fellas. Quick kill. Quick destruction. What even is your weakness? Too bad for Triple Blade. Again. Really? Okay. Alright. Are we finally gonna fight the duo now? Just in case you fall. Of course. Why am I not surprised? Yeah, the last part of this pack is suddenly gotten noticeably harder, especially you can do it. You can bust a duel them if you want, sure, but at this point you really should be using weaknesses. Really? I'm not surprised. I thought I'd fight this during the Ice Devil level. Yeah, no. Once again, I wish there was more patterns that Yellow Devil had in this engine. Having the same one over and over just gets boring. At least I can hit him 5 times. Hit them. I'm out of here. I crush her. You know exactly what that means. No. Let's bring out the big guns. Well, at least it's not the most awkward weapon to hit him with. Haha, you've been defeated, Wily. GG! World has been saved yet again. Alright, finale. After beating the mind control out of them, Hermione and Bastion begin to reawaken as Mega Man carries them out of the collapsing castle. They're so grateful to Mega Man that they agree to work in Light Labs and help Mega Man during his future adventures. However, in the ruins of a nearby place, a dark figure emerges saying, "Finally, I'm reborn!" Thus concludes Mega Man Hermione's attack. A decent to almost good Mega Man Maker level pack. This is designed more in a traditional sense, so the ARM stages are traditionally designed, no intro stages, and the level lengths are notably lengthier than the NES stages, but not quite to fangame length. Like, they're about 3 to 4 minutes apiece. Maybe 2.5 to 4. But what surprised me about this is how, especially compared to their previous outings, they really took the criticism to heart and actually made each of the RM levels stand out more, as in actually focusing on a set of 2 central gimmicks or mechanics or level objects, introducing isolation, gradually escalating, combining, and then ending off the stage at a nice bow with a climax. Not only that, the stages each of the stages feel like they have different vibes while still adhering to this general design philosophy. Like, special mention goes to, was it the Overgrowth Labs, where we had the climax being an entirely vertical section? That was cool. And different stages focus on different flow patterns, speeds, platforming challenges, etc., etc. And the Fortress stages themselves felt a bit different than a traditional fair. Like, instead of reduxing many of the gimmicks and challenges from the previous levels, they instead opt to include entirely new gimmicks and just place them in more difficult configurations overall. Now, my main issues with this are with maybe 1 or 2 of the level difficulties with some of the mini stages, and the finale is Scrap Hideout, which needs to be fixed a bit. But really it's with the Fortress levels, with how the difficulty progression could be ironed out a bit, and the Fortress bosses 1, 2, and 3 could be harder. They actually feel easier than several of the bosses before them. And as for Stage 5, that kind of felt like it went too far. It went on for too long. I appreciate bringing back some of the bosses from the previous packs, but all 16 of them? That feels like it artificially extends the stage length. It would be nice to include that as an optional stage though, like Hermione Extra or something, or an EX stage. And the boss fight against the end, I know it's a 3-tier one. I wish they had a bit more of a creative, arena instead of just being a flat square or rectangle, but I understand why. Because without checkpoints or extra life pickups, it can be a thing. The way all these challenges are set up, I would say it's dutifully suited for an intermediate skilled Mega Man Classic player. And if they're having trouble, they can always use special weapons. Like, even in the fortresses, not using special weapons outside the places where you're forced to, for example, use the Rush Marine, it is perfectly doable without them. The game isn't really built in a sense where having special weapons really changes how you play through the levels and make it much easier. So yeah, color me surprised. I should have covered this last month. I didn't have as many hopes, and I was gladly surprised. Thank you, Ted Lee. In any case, this marks the end of the stream. Thank you everyone who's been watching this episode, along with the many other episodes of Maker. The next Maker episode will be pre-recorded, will be released in at least 2 or 3 weeks. So I'll see you all tomorrow for the demo of Viral Nightmare. Thank you very much for watching, and